On Bitcoin's local chart, we're seeing a triangle. I have a plan for how to trade it. I'll also show potential altcoin entries and my active limit orders. Which dips am I ready to buy? Thoughts on BTC dominance plus encouraging news from Hong Kong. Is Bitcoin's bull cycle ending? Should we expect Altseason? Welcome to the daily Bitcoin and crypto market review. Today is October 22nd. Yesterday we saw a funny piece of manipulation. Remember the CME gap near $107,000? We plan to catch great long entries in that zone and ride a solid bounce. But the gap wasn't filled. Instead, Bitcoin went express to the moon. Local traders waiting for clean, conservative entries felt FOMO. Price climbed almost without pullbacks. $500 in shorts were liquidated, and many FOMO'd into late longs. The flight didn't last. This morning, price returned to where it started. Some alts are even lower than before. Emotional entries got wiped out. That's your reminder, stick to the plan. On the 4-hour chart, a triangle is forming. In the $105,000 to $105,700 area, right near the lower boundary, there is a huge cluster of long liquidity. The market would love to tap it. If price wicks into 105K, 106K, the CME gap finally gets filled. A support factor. We test the triangle's lower trend line. We sweep that obvious long liquidity at 105K, 105.8K. With that stack of factors, we can expect at least a bounce to $107,300, $107,500. There you can take partial profit and move stop to break even. If buyers flip that resistance into support, 109K, 112K opens up as the next target. My trade idea? Look for entries in 105K, 105.8K with a tight stop if we close below 140,600. If the sweep plus gap fill plus trendline test fails to hold, close the trade. The road likely leads under 100K. I shared this BTC plan earlier today in our Telegram. That's where I post fast updates, risk alerts, and opportunities even before the daily video. Subscribe, link in description. We've already passed 66,000 members and growing fast. Also, subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss the daily setups. About BTC dominance. Yesterday it drifted toward 60.15% resistance. A fake out there is possible. If dominance rises during the local BTC correction, alts won't enjoy it. But the daily dominance chart still suggests that sooner or later one big red impulse could sweep the liquidity below, pushing dominance toward 57%. A move that would look like an altcoin to the moon moment. And most won't be ready. So today's uncertainty and red candles won't last forever. These choppy moves look like prep for a strong up impulse. If the market is preparing, we should prepare too. Given your huge support, likes, comments, and energy, I'll share my limit long orders, pending ideas, and entry zones I'll use if the market offers them. Ethereum also shows a triangle locally. ETH loves fake breakdowns. If we get a false breakdown, sweeping liquidity at $3,015 and $3,550, that can let big players build positions via stop triggers and liquidations. Before the real move, hopefully up. From those levels, odds favor the bulls. Even in a tough market, a strong bounce is very likely. BNB tried a mini to the moon on BTC's impulse, but notice how quickly it gave back gains. The untouched liquidity below $1,000 still pulls price. Without a flush under $1,000, BNB may lack the energy for a true trend change. A sweep of the round number is likely. $953, $954 looks like a prime reversal zone for at least a strong bounce. If we close below $920, the setup is invalid. If BTC dominance pops, BTC dips a bit, and BNB looks under $1,000, then Aster, BSC ecosystem, also points under $1. Since Aster is already close, I'm adjusting entries to 0.95 and 0.88. Safer. AVAX unchanged. It often trades independently. For a confident entry, I want the weekly buyer zones, 18.5 and 17.6. That's where I'll consider spot or small conservative leverage. Dogecoin levels from yesterday remain valid. Ford Coin futures setup also stands. It often holds, then in one impulse drops 10 to 20% to our entry and bounces just as fast. Don't be fooled by temporary strength. It can reverse twice as fast. Now we're ready for a potential BTC pullback and the opportunities alts may offer. Remember, I post real-time changes, cancellations, and entry tweaks first on Telegram, so you don't get liquidated. A big headline many ignore. Hong Kong approved a SOLANA ETF. Why do I care? Because once the US government shutdown ends, the SEC is very likely to focus on spot altcoin ETFs. I suspect Solana and Litecoin could be among the first. Even the precedent of an approved altcoin ETF can trigger a drop in BTC dominance and ignite the altcoin narrative. We saw a similar sequence with spot ETFs. The US approval looked doubtful, Hong Kong approved first, and then the US followed. I think we're seeing a repeat. On Solana, I'm only interested in longs on spot. On Litecoin, the weekly monthly charts look great. A run above $300 this cycle seems reasonable, with $500, $600 as a stretch target. Not fantasy, just what the structure allows. LTC's chart reminds me of our ZEC buy at $50 before a 5x move. Equal highs, lots of short liquidity overhead. LTC could be a solid spot bet on this correction. Less pleasant, but important. Since OC15, long-term Bitcoin holders distributed $28,000 BTC. Distribution continues. On the weekly BTC gold chart, we have a confirmed double top. It could take weeks or months to play out. Yesterday, gold dropped 5% intraday and BTC pumped. Today, BTC gave back the gains while gold didn't reclaim 4,300. This hints BTC is not digital gold, more a high-risk asset. The correlation idea is often wishful thinking. On the CME Global BTC Futures chart, I also see that most of the bull cycle is behind us. From 2022, BTC already rallied a lot in 3 years. US equities too. What we lack is euphoria, massive exit liquidity, and retail overconfidence. For that, we need a strong drop in BTC dominance and a rally in altcoins. We're tired, yes. But look at Total 3. All altcoins ex BTC and ETH. Price is pressing the 2021 high. When it holds above it, altcoins historically accelerate. The weekly trend line holds. No reason to panic. Look at others, alts without BTC. Trend is intact and market cap is still far below the 2021 peak, despite the flood of new tokens with inflated FDV. Altcoins aren't just at the bottom, they're at the basement. The real question? Do they rise from here or not? If you believe in crypto, alts, and Altseason, selling core spot positions now is irrational. S&P 500 yearly chart? Scary? It seems big players want a massive distribution before turbulence, and for that they'll need a period of euphoria to attract our liquidity. So, in my view, with what could be ahead, it may be riskier not to risk. Among major charts, the one that looks bad is BTC. Most others rhyme with past bull cycles. What's missing is the final brushstroke. Altseason. So we stay cold-blooded, make money on local moves, catch knife bounces on quality spot plays, and wait for our investment theses to play out. Yes, it feels scary and exhausting for everyone, but that's exactly when the odds of success are highest. In Telegram, you'll find education, our anomaly screener, whale wallet flows, and liquidity maps for almost any asset. All free for the community. Use them while the market is slow. That's it for now. Your likes and comments fuel this channel and help it grow. Wishing you an amazing day. See you tomorrow.